Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we will be discussing how I exercise for 31 hours per week. Okay, so I'm not currently exercising for 31 hours per week. I'm currently dealing with post-tibial tendonitis, so I really can't put too much impact on my foot for a long time, but this summer, I on average was training about anywhere from 30 to 36 hours per week. So in this video, we're going to go through a sample week of training and a sample week of exercising for 31 hours. So, I lifted weights for 8 hours this week. So I lifted 7 days a week. So if you do the math, that's about an hour and 10 minutes per session. And my lifting routine was as follows. Now, before I discuss this, I will say the reason I was spending so much time in the gym was because I was preparing for a bodybuilding show. I was going to do men's physique and classic physique, so I was preparing for that show and I wanted to literally have a perfect physique. I wanted to be in contention to win. This is why I was training so much in the gym. All right, so my split was Monday through Sunday, and Monday was shoulders and traps heavy. So I do shoulders and traps heavy. I would do on Tuesday. I would do lats and biceps, heavy. Wednesday, chest and triceps heavy. Thursday, I would do lats and shoulders high volume. Friday, I would do biceps and triceps high volume. Saturday, I would do legs, and then Sunday, I would do forearms, chest, and triceps. The forearms would be heavy, but the chest and triceps would be high volume. Now, you guys might think this routine's stupid, but I mean, the results speak for themselves. If you look at my physique compared to other people's physique, I clearly know what I'm doing. You know, a lot of people tell me my bodybuilding routine doesn't make any sense, it's inefficient. That's totally not true. And my routine is split up this way for it's intentional, right? There are certain muscle groups I have to um, train, right? I have to perfect really in order to be in contention to win a bodybuilding show. So that means I have to hit multiple muscles 2 to 3 times a week if I want to be able to compete with my competition. Okay, so yeah, I train triceps 3 times a week, but that's because I had to be in contention to win. I train shoulders twice a week, lats twice a week. That's because I had to put emphasis on those muscles if I wanted to be in contention to win. So that's just a site. That's just a sample split. 8 hours per week, 7 days a week. I was spending anywhere from an hour to an hour and 15 minutes in the gym. Okay, now here comes my running. All right, so I ran about 8 hours this week. For this week, I ran about 55 miles. This summer, I averaged between 60 and 70 miles per week. My mileage started decreasing in the 50s once I incorporated cycling. But anyways, I would run 6 days a week. Um, I would have one long run every day on Friday, and I would have one workout, and that workout was usually on Mondays. It would be either some sort of threshold effort, on the trail, or like a VO2 max work on the track, or some anaerobic efforts on the track. So one long run on Fridays, one workout on Mondays, and then I would do 4 aerobic runs, and those are just runs in which there's zone two runs. If you guys know what zone two means, it's in zone two. It's just a percentage of your heart rate. It's pretty much an easy, if you will, comfortable pace you can run at and hold a conversation with somebody. So I did that for 8 hours as well. So we're at 16 hours of training, and then I would cycle. So this week I cycled for 5 hours, and these were just zone two aerobic rides. So I was just trying to build my not aerobic base, but I was trying to build the base in my legs because while running and cycling does have some crossover, the muscles you use in cycling are ultimately like anywhere from 70 to 85% different than the muscles you use in running. So you have to build like a base in cycling. Your aerobic base from running transfers over to your aerobic base in cycling, and your aerobic base from cycling transfers over to your aerobic base from running. But because you use totally different muscles when you train, your foundation, if you will, your base for running doesn't translate to your base for cycling. So you have to build a base for cycling, and you build a base by cycling. You build a base for cycling by doing zone. There's a lot of ways to do this, but one of the most tried and true methods is just doing zone two aerobic rides to get your leg muscles used to cycling. Okay, and I do that about 4 days a week. Yeah, I'd say when I was running 55 miles per week, this was the summer. But when I was running 55 miles per week, I'd say I would cycle about 4 days per week. And then I have walking. I walked for 10 hours. So that brings us to 31 hours. Now, a lot of you guys might not think that walking should be included in this list. But here's the thing walking burns a ton of calories, okay? So 10 hours of walking is approximately, assuming 20 minutes per mile, that's 30 miles per week. That's equivalent to running. You're burning the same amount of calories walking 30 miles per week as you would running 30 miles per week. So I burn about 140 calories per mile. It doesn't matter. You burn the same amount of calories walking and running. Um, so that's about 4,500 calories right there, just from walking 10 hours. Now, when would I walk? And I do include this exercise because I was walking with the intention of exercise, but I also walk a lot because it helps with de-stress. I highly encourage walking. It helps to de-stress. It helps to clear your mind. It helps you think about stuff to feel better. But generally speaking, 2 days a week, Monday and Friday, I would lift weights in the morning because Monday and Friday I work from home. So I'd lift weights in the morning, and I would just go for a walk after my a run, or after my lift. After lifting weights, I go for a walk, and then after training, usually around 7 o'clock. This is in the summer again, so around 7:30, usually around 6:45 at the earliest. I go walk a little bit for about an hour, hour and a half, because it doesn't get dark until 9 o'clock in late June, early July. So I walk after training, Tuesday through Thursday, sometimes even Monday. But I walk after training, and Friday through Sunday, um, I would have the whole day pretty much after work Friday, and all day Saturday and Sunday just to walk as however long I wanted to. So on Saturday, Sunday, I'd walk all throughout the day just to de-stress. I also, if you can't tell, I love exercising. I love training. I believe that my talent and my gift is for training, and that's why I can train so much without needing ample recovery. Of course, I do have a serious injury right now, but that's because I have flat feet. It's not from overtraining. But anyways, that is how I exercise for 31 hours a week. I've been, for those of you who are curious, I've been bodybuilding for 8 years. I've been running for 15 years, and I've been cycling for 11 years on and off. And I've been bodybuilding and doing cycling and running concurrently for 8 years. Whenever I started bodybuilding, I didn't want to give up running. I didn't want to give up cycling, so I figured out a way how to do both concurrently. So if y'all are interested in learning how to do both concurrently, or how to get jacked, or how to get shredded, or whatever, however, one-on-one coaching, links in the bio. And if y'all enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.